morning, students, or good afternoon, depending on when you're watching this video. I'm excited to give you guys my first lesson for this class. So last week we gave you guys some videos introducing slope. Some of you probably have seen slope before, learned it last year in 8th grade. Some of you, maybe this was the first time seeing it. But regardless, we're talking about slope. We'll probably be talking about slope for a little while. But today, we are talking about the slope-intercept form, okay? So your slope is like how steep your line is. So it could be either really, really steep, a really high slope, or a gradual slope, okay? But today I'm going to teach you where you can identify parts of the line in the slope-intercept form. Okay, so the slope-intercept form of a line, you probably, if you've already seen slope, then you've probably seen this too. It's in the form y equals mx plus b. Okay, now these letters all mean something. X and y just mean x and y. They're always going to be in your equation. Okay, but the m is where you put the slope. Okay, so that's where your number that represents the slope of the line will be. And then the letter B represents your y-intercept. Okay, where does this line cross the y-axis? Okay, so let me show you, well, I'll leave that up there. Let me show you an example. So, example 1, let's say you have this equation. Okay, so this tells me just by looking at it, knowing that it's in slope-intercept form, 2 is my slope and 7 is my y-intercept. So I could go to a graph, and where 7 is on the y-axis, I know my line is going to cross there, and then I know it's going to have a slope of 2. Rise over run. So from that point, you would go up 2 over 1, and then that is your line, okay? In your IXL for this week, for this lesson, what they're going to ask you is they're going to give you the slope and the y-intercept and say, put it in a graph, or put it in an equation, okay? So let me give you an example of that. Okay, so the question might say, write the equation of a line. Write the equation of a line that has a slope of 1/2 and y-intercept of 3. Okay? So, you are going to start with this equation and just plug in what you know. If we know what the slope is, you put 1/2 right there. And if you know what the y-intercept is, you put that right there. And everything else stays the same. So, y equals, m is my slope, so 1/2, x stays as x, plus sign, and then your y-intercept is 3.